Hi, my name is Nicole Doze, and I'm a New York City sanitation worker during the week and a beauty pageant queen on the weekends. I'm going to take you through 24 hours of my beauty and wellness routine. I've been a sanitation worker for 3.5 years. I am actually the official national anthem singer for the sanitation department. I've been competing in pageants since I was about 18 years old. I have won 3 different titles so far. I was Miss Staten Island, Miss Big Apple, and I am currently Miss Brooklyn for America. I'm going to be competing in the Miss New York for America pageant this July. It took about 3 years from start to finish to become fully hired as a sanitation worker. I work 5 or 6 days a week on a everyday basis, but when we are in a snow emergency, we are 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. I work all different shifts. Sometimes I work overnight, so that's from 12 midnight to 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I work at 5 a.m. to 1 in the afternoon, 7 a.m. to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or even 4 p.m. to midnight. So we are all over the place. We can pick anywhere up between 8 to 12 tons or more of garbage. When I'm on my street sweeper, which I'm by myself, we probably pick up about maybe 2 to 3 tons of garbage a day. On a normal shift, if I'm working from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., I wake up at about 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's 5:15 in the morning, and we are gonna not hit snooze and get up and start getting ready for our day.
I wanted to become a sanitation worker mostly because I wanted to be able to support myself and I wanted to work for New York City. My father, my uncle, and my cousin, they're all sanitation workers, so I took the civil servant exam. They called me to be hired and I took the jump and I was like, let's try this, and I ended up really enjoying it. I'm extremely girly. I love pink, I love sparkles, I love all of those very feminine things. So when I took the jump to do this very masculine, dirty job, people were shocked, to say the least. But actually for the first 2 titles that I've won, I actually performed my talent in my sanitation uniform and I sang "I Feel Pretty" on stage. So that was a lot of fun. Classy, beauty, trashy. So I wake up, I brush my teeth, I just wash my face with water. I like to use a toner. I use a toner from Lush. I like to use a moisturizer on my face. I use the Cetaphil lotion. Then I go into my stretches. I like to stretch every morning. And then I do a little bit of what I like to call a strength routine. I do some sit-ups, some push-ups, some couple of different, core exercises. Because of the physical job that I have, I like to stay in physical shape. So the process to become a sanitation worker is first you take a civil servant written exam. So that's basically a common knowledge exam. And they put you on a waiting list based off your score. So I waited about 3 years or so to finally start hearing about hiring. And then from there, you do a medical exam to make sure you're physically healthy enough to do the job. And then you do a physical exam where it's actually like a garbage obstacle course per se. So we have fake cars and fake garbage bags and we have to kind of maneuver ourselves around them and see if you're able to do it in a certain amount of time. When I took the physical exam, the obstacle course, I was the only female there and they had me go first. And they give you a pair of gloves to use during the exam, work gloves. And the man handed me the pair and he goes, "The last woman who was here failed because these gloves were too big. Good luck." When I first started doing pageants, I knew absolutely nothing about doing my hair and makeup, which is funny because I'm so girly. But I learned and now I do my own hair and makeup. I do not put on all of this makeup on a daily basis. It takes a very long time for me, but I'm learning. And yes, for the pageants, I tend to do my own hair and makeup unless there's somebody willing to help me. I did this today. I was so proud of me.
I usually have these couple of different color palettes that I use. I have a ton of them.
I like to put on a little bit of eyeshadow, a little bit of liner. I like to fill in my eyebrows a little bit because it makes you look awake, which is what we're going for at 5 o'clock in the morning. I have my hair back and in a bun, so it's gotta be back. You can't have any hair flying around because God forbid something gets caught. You don't want any of that. When I put my hair up, I take more of like a thin black rubber band and I put it in a ponytail first, and then I have a thicker hairband where I kind of spin it and roll it into a nice bun so it's really tight, and then I tend to put a hat on top of that, make sure nothing is flying anywhere. I need to have a manicure all the time, but it has to be a gel manicure because if I get regular polish, it is gone probably within a couple of hours because of the gloves, the grabbing, and I need to have short nails. If my nails are not short, I can't actually grab the bags. So they need to be gel, short, but they need to be done because I'm a beauty queen. I like my nails done. I also tend to not wear any jewelry. We're not usually allowed to wear jewelry. If we do, it has to be small stud earrings, but I can't wear my engagement ring, which makes me really sad. So I've been engaged to my wonderful fiance, Mikey, since September of 2019. He is actually a NYPD police officer, and he proposed to me right before we took a trip to California. I thought he was kidding. There's a hidden Mickey in my ring. I don't know if you like Disney, but it's in there. I think like everyone, I was very nervous about the pandemic. I was worried about my family. Me and my fiance were both essential workers, so we went out there and we just realized we did what we needed to do. You know, the city needed us. You know, once garbage collection stops, the city stops. If snow collection stops, the city stops. And you know, I'm proud to be a part of that because it's really just another wheel in the cog that makes the city go, and I love that. My average uniform, usually our most outer garment should be high visibility. We want to make sure that we're seen by the public, especially if we're working when it's darker out. But just in general, you want to make sure that you're being seen. In the winter time, I wear probably 3 or 4 layers of clothing. So I have maybe 1 or 2 layers of thermals on, then I have my long sleeve shirt, then I have an inside jacket, an outer jacket, and the same with the bottom. So I like to stay nice and warm in the winter. I'm not a winter person, which is fun because we plow snow. Actually, when I first came on the job, they did not make female sanitation worker pants. So when I got my pants, they were all the men's pants, and I had them custom tailored to fit me. They were taken in, they had to pull up the crotch. I don't know if there's a more polite word for that. And then about 1.5 years in, they started making female pants, which were so much more comfortable. Heading out to work, I leave a little bit before him. It's about 6:15-ish is usually around the time that I leave. And he gets to leave at 6:30, so he gets a little extra time than I do. But I will see you later.
See you later.
To get myself ready for the day, I am in the car listening to ABBA. We are a dancing queen. I like to be early or either on time for things, and especially with this job, I believe my first couple of months on the job, I overslept on a 12 to 8 shift. I learned very quickly that the earlier you show up, the better it is because you don't know with New York City traffic what you're going to be looking at. Just on top of that, it gives you a moment once you get to work to kind of regroup. I take a moment to myself. In the morning, I actually drink energy tea. I'm not really a big coffee drinker unless I'm working overnight. But I drink a lot of tea in the morning, so that's something that I just kind of take a moment when I get to work and just enjoy. So on any particular day, I could be doing a number of different things. On my average day, I am driving a street sweeper, so we'll drive the street sweeper for about 6 hours a day because then we need time in the afternoon to clean the machinery. There are days when I'm on what they call a collection route, so I'm either picking up your recycling. When we had the compost program, we were picking up compost or just your everyday garbage. There are also days when we're physically out in the street with a hand broom and a shovel, and we're cleaning curb lines and sidewalks. And then there are days when I am driving loads in the trucks to the different dumps around the boroughs. Depends on the day, we always have something different. Well, my street sweeper, they are actually very slow. So we have these new hybrid street sweepers, but they sweep up a lot. I believe in one shift we could sweep up anywhere between 2 to 3 tons of garbage. And during leaf season, as we call it, which is fall, we are sweeping up probably double that amount. No matter what shift I'm working, I have a bag with me. I carry everything with me because I'm never sure where I might be working or what I might be doing. Sometimes I'm on a collection truck, sometimes I'm in a sweeper, so I bring snacks, lots of snacks. I try to drink 4 glasses of water. I have a big water bottle, so I try to drink at least 1 or 2 of those a shift. I always have Cheerios. I live off of Cheerios. I will either eat them dry for breakfast or as a snack. I live off of Cheerios. I bring peanut butter granola bars with me. I love to eat those. Bananas are usually my breakfast because I'm more of a grab and go type of breakfast that early in the morning. When I'm preparing for a pageant, I'm just a little bit more conscious about how healthy I'm eating or how often I exercise because I just want to feel physically confident so I'm mentally confident and prepared for the pageant. Sometimes I make myself smoothies if we had time. Bananas, almond milk, powdered peanut butter. I personally like to add chia seeds. And I get made fun of this, I always have a peanut butter sandwich for lunch. No matter what, without fail, every single day since I was about 5, I brought a peanut butter sandwich with me to work, and I will not stop.
Peanut butter sandwich inside, excited to have lunch.
Tissues are always great to have because especially when you are picking up garbage, you do not know what's going to splatter on you, so tissues are a must-have. I mean, I've picked up bags and like rats have run out of them. You've got anything. I mean, I picked up bags in the summer that are covered in maggots. So, it's worse when it's raining because then the maggots are wet and you're wet and everything's wet. One of the grossest things I came across was actually very recently. I was working in Sunset Park. I was on a recycling route and I grabbed a cardboard box and I pulled at it and it wasn't moving. And I went to examine it a little closer and it was filled with crabs. I don't know if they were alive or not, but it was filled with crabs. Especially when I'm in the street sweeper, I like to wear the mask even though I'm by myself because sometimes the dirt and debris can come in, so we just want to take that extra step. I always wear gloves, thin gloves, and I put on the thicker gloves when I'm picking up the actual collection. When it comes to disposing of your collection, recycling, please bag and bundle your cardboard and your paper because if you just put it all inside of one box, I'm going to grab it and it is going to go all over the place. And nobody wants that. And if you're going to dispose of your glass, metal, paper, plastic, please be mindful that we are grabbing at bags not knowing what is inside of them. So things like nails, broken glass, things like oxygen tanks, helium tanks, needles, these are all things that I've encountered that I don't think the public is aware of how dangerous they can be to someone who's throwing out their trash.
Now it's the end of the day, it's about 2 o'clock. I like to sort of just clean myself up a little bit before I go home and get comfortable.
When work is done, I tend to loiter. I love to talk to my coworkers after work. Actually, as of right now, because I am prepping for a pageant, I've created, with the help of one of my coworkers, a makeshift runway in the gym of the garage. So I kind of walk back and forth in my heels, do a little bit of practice because it just gives me more space than I have at home. My coworkers, I think they needed to get used to me a little bit because I have a personality that I don't think they've seen in my garage before. It is always a unique experience when I bring my crowns into the garage or that I'm running around in a pair of heels. But they've come to, I like to think, enjoy it. There is a particular coworker, Richie, who I like to call my life coach because I go to him for advice for everything. Pageants, my wedding, my career, everything. But these guys, they're great. They're like my second family. They do photo shoots for me. I like to take pictures in the garage because the lighting is great. I like to spray down everything with Lysol. I spray down my phone, I spray down my bag, my keys. Everything gets sprayed down before I leave the building, so when I get in the car, everything is already clean. And then I usually tend to leave my uniform at work. I have the clean uniforms at home, and I leave the dirty ones at work, and we have a washing machine at the garage, so I wash everything there. I think I was already a germaphobe, but this job kind of only elevated that. We don't do shoes in the house. There was also one thing I noticed I picked up on. When you put your garbage can out in front of your house, you grab that with your hands. I don't do that because I grab the cans at work with my gloves and I know what my gloves have touched and now it's on the can and I'm not touching that with my hands. I'm constantly washing my hands. I like to sing Good as Hell by Lizzo while I'm washing my hands. I think that's a good 90 seconds.
Feeling good as hell.
I know my dad is a complete neat freak, so he definitely, I think, instilled that. I mean, both of my parents are neat freaks, so that was just something that I grew up just knowing. And then on top of that, as him being a sanitation worker, he never smelled like garbage. And I realized that I don't either. I think it's just a matter of how you take care of the uniform and just how you work to make sure that it's inevitable a lot of the times that you will get garbage on you, you will get dirty, you will get splashed in the face, but you clean up yourself while you're still at the garage, so you don't bring it home. It is actually not as smelly as you think. I've come to realize that there's such a thing as clean garbage and dirty garbage, and most average garbage actually doesn't really smell. It actually has this strange sweet smell to it. But if you have what we might call dirty garbage, then you'll smell it. You'll smell like the food that's on the inside, or you can smell if there's rodents and things on the inside. But for the most part, it honestly doesn't smell that bad. Once we get home, depending on the day, I tend to take everything that I've already cleaned, put it to the side. I like to jump into a quick shower. We like to go for walks in the afternoon, so that's our way of getting a little bit of exercise.
It's about 5 o'clock, so we'll probably walk for a little bit and then get ready to have dinner. We'll see what Mikey cooks for us tonight.
I've done a couple of 5Ks, but I just really enjoy walking, running, getting my cardio in. I actually just bought a step tracker because I was curious to see how many steps I was walking when I'm on a collection route. And it's over 10,000, maybe 12,000, so it's a lot of steps. And then I tend to drink sleepy time tea and possibly do a little bit of reading before bed. And I have my little nighttime face routine. So I just got out of the shower. I like to shower every night or after every shift. And now I'm just gonna do my nighttime skincare routine. I have my reusable makeup remover. You wet it and it just takes all the makeup off. I didn't have too much on to begin with, but whatever didn't come off in the shower, just some leftover makeup. I take it off. Then I use my oil-free acne wash. Rose water. This is different from the one I put on in the morning. This one's more nourishing. Sit it on overnight. Then I have my Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. This I put under my eyes. Try to prevent dark circles, especially when I work overnight. And then I have my Estee Lauder Revitalizing Lotion. This is my nighttime lotion. And that's our nighttime skincare. Once I started working for the sanitation department, I saw exactly where our recycling goes and what things are recycled. So it was just something that I already recycled. Now I was a little bit more careful about it. I tend to try to actually stay away from the recycling in general to see if I can find items that are multi-use. So I have the paper towels that you can wash and reuse over again. The same with my water bottles, my plastic bags. Just to keep things out of the waste cycle in general, I found is something that I wanted to contribute to, because seeing all of the garbage that gets picked up just on one shift, let alone a daily basis, is astronomical. If I do have the time to just mellow out, it's definitely on a Sunday. We don't work Sundays unless it's voluntary. So I take the time to just do the things that I enjoy doing. I love taking bubble baths. I love bath bombs. For me, I actually find it very rewarding. I do beach cleanups as volunteer work, so if I'm not picking up garbage at work, I like to do it for fun on the beach, but I find it to be so relaxing that I really don't mind doing it at all. And then just for me, it's, I love to drink tea, read a book, watch TV, just, take a moment to decompress, because with the scheduling and with the physical work, it can be tough. If you're looking for a career where you can advance as a woman, you can succeed, I would highly recommend the sanitation department. Everybody is incredibly supportive. It's a lot of fun being a female in a male-dominated role because you get to bring a different type of presence to the people around you. And I've only had nothing but the most positive experiences working for the department. And I'm so excited to see where my career goes and to just keep moving up the ladder and hopefully, maybe I'll be commissioner one day.
It is now 9:30 and I am getting ready for bed. Thank you, Allure, for following me on my 24 hours of beauty and wellness. I hope you learned a little bit about my trashy and a little classy routine. Good night.